I'm looking right now at our Bloomberg Pay Index. It's available on the terminal, one of the things that you want the Bloomberg terminal for sure, because nobody else has this stuff.
Right.
So this is what it looks like on a Bloomberg screen. We've got a bunch of names, we've got a bunch of dollars, we've got the companies they work for, and the stars. Why don't you, it's under performance. What do those rankings tell us? Because I see lots of money, and in many cases, only 1 or 2 stars next to these people's names.
That's true. So what our pay index does, it's the first daily ranking of executive pay. We take the current value of an executive's pay package. So based on what we gathered on Nick Woodman, he's going to be our highest paid CEO. Those stars, on the other hand, show pay for performance. And the way we're measuring pay for performance is with economic profit on a 3-year average rolling basis. And basically that's showing us if an executive their decision making is creating profit.
They're delivering.
Exactly, above and beyond their cost of capital.
Lots of people aren't delivering.
Sure.
Like, look at Sharif Suki, currently the highest paid CEO in America. $500 million.
That's the current value.
That's the current value of his pay package.
Exactly. So he works for a company, or he runs a company called Cheniere Energy, and we broke the news last year that he was the highest paid CEO in the U.S. Their company has never turned a profit. They are sort of banking on this, the idea that they'll be able to export natural gas. It hasn't happened yet, so they have a lot of investments in their infrastructure, and they just haven't, been able to produce the profit yet. So that's why he has 1 star.
Now let's talk a little bit about Nick Woodman.
Let's.
How is he going to top Sharif Suki?
He was granted 4.5 million restricted shares before the company's IPO. That was back. So we found that out from a prospectus in November. Those 4.5 million shares were worth about $285 million at the end of the year, and that's how the index is gauging awarded pay. We're pricing an executive's compensation package as of the company's fiscal year end. So that's how he's going to end up unseating Sharif Suki on our index.
You've had a lot of time to play with this. I'm going to be playing around with this, but it's brand new. What do you find most fascinating about what we learn looking at these data?
I think what I'm really excited about is the ability to see how a pay package changes in value. And you can see, on a day-by-day basis, how a company's or an executive's pay is tied to their value, their stock value.
This is critical information for boards.
Exactly, and we hope for shareholders too. Helping shareholders make decisions on whether or not they approve of a company's pay package, and then of course,
quite frankly, it's adding transparency to the process.
That's what we hope, yeah. And our pay for performance metric is very unique. We wanted to stay away from total shareholder return because we know that a lot of times executives don't have a whole lot of control over how their stock price does. I mean, you could look at the oil executives as a perfect example. I mean, the price of oil has a huge impact on their shares, but we want to look at whether they're making decisions that are covering their cost of capital and then some, which we think will provide more value for investors over the long term.
So there is a conspicuous lack of 5-star performers in our rankings. A, why is that? And B, who deserves the gold star?
Okay, so the gold star goes to Apple CEO's Tim Cook. Actually, all of Apple's management, they have enormous 3-year average economic profit, about $28 billion. And the way we measure it, it's about Tim Cook gets paid about...
So the top 3, so 5 of the top 6 are Apple executives.
Yes, exactly. And that's because, they're just a machine. They're a gigantic company. They have, billions of dollars in revenue. They're making decisions that are profitable. And so, Tim Cook is the best performing CEO, and his whole management team is really doing a great job according to our index.
Well, like I say, transparency. Boards, I hope you're listening. If you've been thinking about getting that Bloomberg terminal but haven't yet, press the button. Here's one good reason why.